Welcome to the Workplace Minute, powered by H3HR Advisors and sponsored by WorkHuman. Thanks for joining me for your quick briefing on what's important in the world of work. My name is Steve Boese. Today in the show, we're looking at one of the biggest and most debated issues in employee benefits heading into open enrollment season: coverage of GLP-1 medications. These are the high-profile drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy that are transforming how people approach weight loss and diabetes management. They're effective, they're popular, and they're expensive. And for employers, deciding whether to cover them or not has quickly become a defining moment in benefit strategy. Let's break it down. The blockbuster drugs like Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro, originally designed to treat type 2 diabetes but now widely used and FDA approved for weight loss, are quickly becoming some of the most in-demand prescriptions in the country, with millions of people using them for weight management, metabolic health, and related conditions. But as effective as these drugs are, they come with a hefty price tag. GLP-1s often cost more than $1,000 per patient per month. And for employers, that kind of expense can add up quickly. Recent data from consulting firms like Mercer and Willis Towers Watson show that GLP-1 medications now account for as much as 8% of some employers' total spend. And utilization is only expected to grow. In fact, some projections suggest that if current adoption rates continue, GLP-1s could become the single largest driver of health plan cost increases in 2026. So what are employers doing today? Up until recently, many companies limited GLP-1 coverage to diabetes treatment, where the drugs are more clearly established. Coverage for weight loss has been more mixed. Some employers added it due to intense employee demand. Others excluded it because of cost concerns and questions about long-term clinical outcomes. In 2025, we've seen a turning point. A majority of large employers are reevaluating their policies. Some are considering adding coverage for weight management in 2026 to stay competitive in recruiting, while others are drawing a line in the sand, choosing to exclude these medications until pricing comes down or more outcome data is available. Employers that do cover GLP-1s are also experimenting with strategies to manage the costs. These include prior authorization rules, step therapy requiring patients to try lower cost options first, or limiting coverage to employees with certain clinical conditions like obesity plus another risk factor. And some are even exploring outcomes-based contracts with drug manufacturers, where payments are tied to whether the patients actually meet their weight loss or health targets. Of course, cost management is only half the story. From an employee perspective, GLP-1s have become almost an expectation. They've been hailed as life-changing for people struggling with weight loss or chronic conditions, and they're generating huge buzz in the media. Employees who discover that their health plan excludes GLP-1s may feel disappointed, frustrated, even resentful. And for HR leaders, that raises questions about engagement, retention, and recruiting. If a competitor offers coverage and you don't, could that tip the scales in a job seeker's decision? If current employees see access taken away, how might that affect morale and trust? That's why GLP-1 coverage decisions are becoming a strategic HR issue, not just a pharmacy benefit call. Employers need to balance financial sustainability with employee expectations and well-being. So what should HR leaders do? First, if your organization decides to cover GLP-1s for weight loss, make sure you build in some safeguards, clinical criteria, utilization management, and cost-sharing structures that ensure appropriate use, and communicate clearly about why the coverage is offered and how employees can access it. Alternatively, if your organization decides not to cover GLP-1s, be transparent about why. Share information about cost impacts, alternative programs for weight management, and resources like lifestyle coaching or nutrition counseling. And most importantly, listen to employee feedback. You'll want to know how this decision resonates with your workforce. The key takeaway is that there's no one-size-fits-all answer. Covering GLP-1s could make your benefits package more attractive, but also more expensive. Excluding them may control costs, but it could impact employee satisfaction and competitiveness. As you finalize your open enrollment strategy, just remember this: the GLP-1 decision isn't just about dollars and cents. It's also about values, competitiveness, and how your organization shows up for its people. Whether you choose to cover these medications or not, be intentional, transparent, and be prepared for the employee response. Because in today's workplace, benefit decisions aren't just a line item on the budget. They're a statement about what kind of employer you want to be. That's it for today. Thanks so much for listening, and a big thank you to WorkHuman for supporting the Workplace Minute. If this episode made you think about how you're approaching Benefits Open Enrollment this year, please share it with a colleague. I'm Steve Boese, and this has been the Workplace Minute from H3 HR Advisors.